What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Who's Reality Cooking Podcast. I've got Zach from season 3 of Next Level Chef here with me. What is up, Zach?
Hello, hello. How are we doing? Thanks for having me
Doing.
today.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so excited to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you. A pleasure to be here. Super excited.
Awesome. So, for maybe people who have not seen Next Level Chef or have not watched the current season of it, how would you explain what the show is all about to maybe somebody who's never seen it before, or somebody who maybe tuned in for season 1 and 2 and not season 3 yet?
Talk about a unscripted cooking reality TV show. I mean, it was wild, It was really wild. I mean, what an experience though. This opportunity came to me and basically right after the fires, after I just lost everything August 8th. And I was in my head, I'm like, am I going to do this? Am I going to do this? And thank God I did do this because it was such a great disconnect to keep me focused on being present and in the show and just focused on being there and cooking ultimately. I've been farming the last 6 years. So, cooking every day with Gordon Ramsay, Richard Blais and Aisha Arrington. I mean, what an opportunity of a lifetime. I would be a fool to not have grabbed it.
Well, I am so glad you grabbed it. You're so much fun to watch this season. And I know you can't tell us too much. And for those listening or watching, we do have to be careful. We have to protect Zach. He's under contract and not quite sure when this is going to air, but we want to make sure that we keep it all above board. But so the fires had just happened and you come on and you talked about that. And it was such a great wake up moment for me watching it because, the news cycles are constantly changing. And what was that like being able to talk about what was going on back at home for you on national television?
It really meant a lot to me because that time it's such a tragic time for everybody here on Maui. So to bring back Maui awareness by the time the show got to air, it really meant a lot to me because, you know, you don't hear any of it on the news anymore. I mean, it's all gone. I know so many things are happening in the world right now, but honestly, it's like you don't hear anything about Lahaina. And where's the government support? Where's all this help that we're supposedly getting and we're not? And it's like people are still grieving. It's been 7 months right now. And I felt like I did a great job bringing some re-awareness back to Maui. And especially 7 months and now that the show is airing, I had that opportunity to keep refreshing it in people's minds. Please don't forget about us. We still need help. And I think that means a lot for me and Maui in general and all of Hawaii.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for bringing that awareness. And have you gotten any kind of reaction from those back at home about bringing the awareness back? What has that been like?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What has it been like being back home and people are now watching it? Are you getting any kind of reaction from those in Maui or in Hawaii in general about bringing the awareness back? What's that been like?
Absolutely. People look up to me as a public figure on Maui here, and I could do whatever I can. I'm the farmer chef that everybody knows, and everyone's so excited that I had this opportunity at a global scale to release this, statement basically. So it really means a lot to everybody. I've been since I moved to Maui, I've been super, super giving back to the community with the farm as well, through COVID, through the fires. Our whole farm, Humamona Farms, we focus on just giving back to the community. And we're here to stay and help. There's a lot of people that are still displaced from the line of fires. And our food program, Humamona Foundation, we partnered with Chef Jason Raffin from Chef Collective, and we're pumping out hundreds of meals every other day to feed people that are in hotels that don't have kitchens, that don't have food, they're just getting hopped all around. So it really means a lot to us to just keep that going. And I think people really look up to us for that.
I love that. I love that. Now, for anybody who's listening and or watching, is there any way that we can help support? Is there a place that we can donate money or time? What can we do to help on our end, and how can we promote that here on the podcast?
Absolutely. So we are super volunteer driven and donation driven as well. If you are on Maui, you could always go to our website at hulamonafarms.com or hulamonafoundation.org, and you can actually sign up for volunteering on the farm or for food prep to help meal service for Lahaina's place. Also for donations, yeah, we started helpsavemaui.org. We've had a plethora of great donations that keep our mission going. I mean, we're so pumped and excited about everything. It's just really, it takes an army. So with the volunteers coming up, helping out with farming and giving back with meal prep, I mean, that means so much because it's going for a good cause. And then with the money donations, that helps us fund our whole production, and right now there's not been a lot of government support. So it's been coming out of our own pocket right now.
Wow. Wow. And so I would like to just take a second and just say, I know there are people who are saying, well, what should I do? Should I still go on my trip there? I would say either donate money or try to sign up for a day to help on the farm. And please, anyone listening, this is still ongoing. These people are still displaced and still suffering, and any little bit will help. So thank you. Thank you, Zach, for bringing this back to the forefront of our minds, because even I am guilty of, the news cycle constantly changing over. I'm in Boise, I'm landlocked. This is not something that I'm thinking about, but I feel like we need to. You guys are part of the states, but what? Because there's just a little bit of ocean in between us, we happen to forget about it. I think we all need to push ourselves to remember what's really happening and in our own backyard, literally.
Yeah, absolutely. And for tourism that are potentially looking to come into Maui, please come because our economy took a huge hit. It is safe to come to Maui. Just be respectful and look at little places where you can help out. I mean, that's all it takes is a little bit. We're trying to rebuild back our economy right now, and there's multiple ways that people can help out. And yeah, every little bit helps.
That's so great. Now I can see you're in the kitchen. So are you
Yeah.
cooking today? Tell me a little bit about that. Not to change the subject too abruptly, but I can't help
Yeah.
it.
I am. So I have the regional Marriott group coming up tomorrow. So all the GMs and VIPs and the higher ups from all the islands in Hawaii, they're all coming. They wanted a farm to table experience from Chef Zach Laidlaw. So I'm about to give it to them.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
I'm literally
Awesome.
I'm prepping about eight dishes for tomorrow's service. So I'm super excited. It's true farm to table. I mean, talk about growing my own food. Literally walking out in the field, I get to harvest and then literally hop into my kitchen, turn it into a beautiful dish, and then watch people enjoy it.
That is so great. That is so
Yeah.
great. I love what you're doing. I really love it. And it's um just so fun to have you on the show, and thank you. So just to chat a little bit about the show, because I actually have some questions. I feel like I drilled Christina a little bit, and now I have more for you.
Right on.
So, as I noted before, if you can't share something, I get that you're under contract. I want you to feel safe and comfortable. So, if you say no to any of these questions, I completely understand. But what I want to know, how quickly do the judges taste the food? When they're tasting your food, is it still hot?
It depends. So basically, as soon as hands up, right, we all leave.
Yeah.
Production comes in. They basically take all everyone's dishes, line it up on the judging table. So with it, that probably takes about 5 to 10 minutes. But yeah, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to set everything up. The production team is amazing. They're one of a kind. They're some of the best of the best. So they know exactly what they're doing, and obviously, if it takes 10 minutes, they're not going to critique you too hard if your dish is not piping hot. They take that in consideration, 100%.
Right, right. Well, I don't know if you're aware, I did a show similar to yours, but 10 years ago. And it would take about 3 hours for the food to get judged. And so it was just
Wow.
cold and gross. And after a certain
Wow.
point, we started tailoring our food for is this going to be good cold? So I actually got eliminated for a cold runny egg because, like, what can you
No.
do?
Oh my gosh. No way, huh? That's a little unfair if you ask me, huh?
Yeah, yeah, I still have a little grudge about that, but this isn't my episode, so we don't need to talk about it. But
Absolutely.
I love the progression and I love talking to people and how quickly you guys have buttoned it up. And Christina even said when you guys show one day of cooking, it's really all done in one day. And that's not what it used to be like. And it's so fun to see the progression of how it's being done these days and how much it's evolved to be a little bit more true to form.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me, is this scripted? Is this scripted? Absolutely not. I mean, we had one take. This is unscripted. It's a free for all. You're go, go, go. When Chef Ramsay or Blaze or anything comes in, it's go time, and legitimately we don't really know what we're cooking until moments before. So it's kind of hard to visually prepare yourself or mentally prepare yourself. You just have to go in, be flexible. Don't go in with a plan because your plan gets shattered in less than a minute. If you go in with a plan, that's not a great idea. You have to feel like, okay, I'm open to cooking whatever, especially if like, okay, I'm going to cook fish. And then all of a sudden you land with a hot dog. You're like, oh my gosh, holy crap, what am I doing? My plan's ruined. So being flexible and just open-minded with everything, that really helps me on the show.
Awesome, awesome. Now, since you mentioned the fish and the hot dog, I have to ask, what would be your ultimate protein grab from the platform if you could choose anything?
Oh, if I could choose any protein grab, I for seafoods, let's say, I never got to cook with scallops.
Hmm.
And I love scallops. And every episode I'm on there, I'm trying to get scallops and everyone takes them before me. So I'm like, ah. But scallops would be my number one seafood or a really nice piece of fish. Black cod or some sea bass. I love great white fish. Meat, the king of meats is a nice pismo or a fillet of tenderloin. You can't mess up a nice tenderloin. Any of those, higher priced items. With that last episode, when I found that black truffle on the platform who made the empanada, are you kidding me? I'm like, black truffle empanada. Now everyone wants that on the menu. Everyone's asking me for the black truffle empanada recipe, or they just want to eat it. So I
Yeah,
really dug myself a hole on that one, but I'm gonna put it on my menu at the farm, and I'm gonna roll with it.
I love it. No, Blaze has said that he was going to revamp his after yours. Has he even reached out or asked you any questions about how you did it differently, or was that, kind of cutesy
uh,
just for the show?
Yeah, Chef Blaze. We do small talk and stuff on Instagram and Facebook on social media platforms. But I think maybe after the show we could maybe have a little bit more FaceTime, and maybe a little bit more communicative. So I think maybe under our both of our contracts we can't really hang out. But I'm waiting to go to a pub with them for sure.
Fun, very fun, very, very fun. So, for someone not watching, I had another question. I get it, but for someone maybe who hasn't seen the show or not watched every single episode, consecutively, the pins that you guys have on your aprons, can you explain what those are and how you use them and how you obtain them?
Yeah, absolutely. So the immunity pins basically. So I received my immunity pin, I want to say on episode 4, it was the Smash Burger competition. So each judge got to pick somebody from their team to receive a immunity pin. It's basically a safety net. So basically whoever got best dish out of that group, that challenge, Chef Blaze obviously honored me with the safety net with the immunity pin. So basically, if I were to get chosen to go to elimination, I had the option I could either cash that in and use that, and then Chef Blaze would have to pick somebody else from our team to go in, or I just bite the bullet and I'm like, you know what, I deserve to go in. I'm going to go in and try to fight myself out. Depending on, I know Jordan, he did cash his in. It's nerve wracking. You don't want to be on that chopping block. You work so hard to get there. and you'll really do whatever you have to do to stay in that competition.
Absolutely. And you're cooking all of that all in one day. They're not actually taking elimination, pushing it to the next day as they have in the past on other shows. So you're probably exhausted by that point too. And maybe you don't have the mental, agility to go another round. So I get it. Now, can you pass it on to someone? Are there rules behind that? Are you allowed to talk about that?
You cannot, to my knowledge, you cannot pass it along to anybody. I wouldn't
Okay.
see why anybody would want to. That's a safety net that I'm holding on to that. I'm praying for that bad boy.
I gotcha. Well, I am a survivor watcher as well, so I was like, I wonder, can you like save
Yeah,
another
totally.
person?
Well, and like you said,
So
the
what
elimination, like you said, the elimination's right after basically. So you're going off of adrenaline and caffeine basically. We're drinking espresso shots. I mean, and it's just pure adrenaline. So you're just, after everything, your body's sore, you're tired. It's like it's an emotional roller coaster. You're constantly going up and down. You got to ride that wave.
Well, since you brought up the caffeine shots, what are breakfast, lunches, and dinners for you guys and for the crew? Like, I know this wasn't one of the questions I sent you, and for everyone listening, I tried to send the questions ahead of time. But what was that like? What was craft services like for you guys?
So basically, on set, we had a catering company on set. So they would basically cater breakfast, lunch, sometimes dinner if we were there long enough. But some of the days were about 8 to 8. So they were good long days. We'd wake up to the hotel, we'd drive down to set, they'd have breakfast ready for us. Anywhere from breakfast burritos, bagels and cream cheese, fresh fruit, yogurt parfaits, stuff like that. Going into lunch, sandwiches, wrap, stir fries. Just they honestly they did a good job changing up the menu daily. So we were very well taken care of.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. I bet it was probably nerve-wracking to them, or I know it would be for me,
Oh yeah, cooking for
trying
a
to
bunch of
feed all
chefs.
these great chefs coming and doing their best every day.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying our hardest not to critique them too bad. We wanted to keep
Um,
them to have their jobs, so
yeah, of course. Of
yeah.
course. So, you had mentioned that when you decided to go on the show, it was during right after the fires and all of that turmoil. How long before when you tried out or did a casting call, did they reach out to you, or what did all of that process look like for you?
So basically, Lindsay from California, was the casting producer. Basically, she reached out to me back in May. It took about 3 months of interviewing, processing, test taking, a lot of Zoom call meetings, and then all of a sudden the fire happened. And then, Next Level Chef was calling me, asking me if I was okay, if I was safe. I was stuck in Lahaina for 5 days with no power, no cell reception, no food, no water. And then basically they wouldn't let anyone in or out. So as soon as I was able to leave Lahaina, my phone just blew up. My text messages, my phone calls, my social media, everything was just blowing up. Luckily, Next Level Chef reached out to me asking me, hey, like, am I safe? Am I okay? Do I still want to do season 3? They accepted me as a contestant on season 3. They understood if I wasn't mentally there, I could always do season 4. But timing was right to do season 3. I'm like, why the hell not? Here I just lost everything. And life's all about timing. And it's like, why miss this opportunity where it's right in front of my face, basically? So I had to take it. I had to take it. And then basically, it was about 3 to 4 weeks after the fires, I was on a plane and I hopped out to Dublin.
Wow, wow, I love it. And I love that you did it just because, and I know I'm harping on this so much, but I think it's so important that you are bringing this back to the forefront of our minds. Now, how did the show, since you've been back, and I know that we're still mid-season, how has it affected your career? Has it boosted it? Is it just a trickle? How has it affected all of the volunteer work you're doing and the farm and all of that? Can you give us a little bit of a view of how that's been since you've gotten back?
Absolutely. So since I've been back, I feel like a mini celebrity here on Maui, honestly. I'm getting recognized in airports now. I'm traveling, grocery stores, people stop me. Hey, you're the chef on the cooking show. Yes, I am. You know, people want pictures taken with me. I mean, it's really, I mean, it's an amazing experience for me. I'm super grateful and thankful for the opportunity and just to be the next celebrity chef. You know, I mean, that's on my list, and to be recognized all around Maui and in airports, and I mean, it's so fulfilling to me. It's a great feeling. It really is. My social media blew up. You know, people are reaching out to me from all over the world. You know, our events on the farm, we're having a lot more inquiries coming in. Everyone wants a piece of Zach and his menu. So, and I'm doing what I can to provide that. You know, I'm again, I'm super busy. I'm still running a farm, and I'm trying to juggle everything all at once. So it's a lot, but that's how I strive. I like to keep busy. I work 6 7 days a week. That's just in my nature. You know, I that's all I know. I just work hard. And here, you know, myself on earth is I want to provide very nice farm to table vegetable forward menus for people and get them excited about vegetables again. You know, you could do so much with a beet or a carrot, and that is what I focus on. I'm trying to do like very fine dining, rustic farm to table dinners on the farm, but stuff that nobody's doing out here in Maui. You know, we're really setting the bar high, and we're setting ourselves apart by being in that realm. Farm chic, we call it.
Oh, I like that. Hey, that could be the name of your cookbook, Farm Chic.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I like that.
Yeah, speaking of, do you have any big goals that you might get out of your time on Next Level Chef? Any items on the wish list?
You know, honestly, I'm kind of seeing where everything takes me. You know, I do have a, you know, obviously I would love to. A lot of people ask, oh, would you want to do a restaurant? And, you know, that's always been a dream of mine to have my own restaurant. But like, am I ready to work 7 days a week again? 100 hour weeks? It's like, oh man, it's like, it's something to think about for sure, you know. But, you know, we have a really good thing going on the farm over here, Humamona Events. You know, we have a great event team. We do private dinners and events on the farm, and I'm just kind of seeing where that kind of takes everything right now. And it's been really nice. You know, I get to curate my menus. I have full say over everything. I do what I want when I want, and it's really nice. I kind of create my own schedule. So what's not to love? I have it really good here right now. So I'm very blessed.
That's great. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad that you're loving the moment that you're in right now. I definitely see big things in the future for you. So,
Thank
um,
you.
yeah, hold on to your seat.
I
Someone
know,
who's
I
been,
know. It's
yeah,
just the
someone who's
beginning, you
been where
know,
you're,
and
it's gonna get wild.
exactly, exactly. And I'm in for the ride. I'm excited to see where this takes me. You know, and it's already been a big boost to my career. You know, people are just reaching out to me for more private dinners. You know, my social media is blowing up. I mean, it's been a real treat. So I'm honored. I'm honored.
Very cool, very cool. Now, are you still in contact with anyone from the show, or are you just so far removed being back in Maui? How is that working? I know social media is probably very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, being on Maui, we are limited with our resources, and being so far away, yeah, it's a little tough because you know I'm in a group chat with the top 15, and you know I look away from my phone, and all of a sudden 5 minutes later I have 200 text messages. I'm like, geez, everyone. I'm like, you know, I'm trying to run a farm here, and everyone's just hanging out and chatting. I'm like, I can't read all this, but we are very well. We're in communication still. You know, I see a lot of people that were in my season doing things together, pop ups, and I wish I could be a part of that. But you know, being on Maui so far away, it's not like I could just take a an hour plane ride. You know, so it's more costly to hop on that plane and get hotels, and so I am a little bit restricted to a point, but that means I just gotta get everyone to Maui.
That's right. I mean, who doesn't want to go to Maui, right?
Exactly. We could do a Humamona Foundation. We could do a fundraising event on the farm to raise proceeds for Lahaina's displays. That's definitely in the works. We've talked about that, myself and a lot of other contestants. So I definitely don't want to rule that out. It's definitely going to happen. I don't know when, but it's definitely going to happen.
Oh yeah, well definitely let me know because I want to help you promote that as much as possible. And I really hope that Next Level Chef will kind of give the nudge and maybe even help people out a little bit with getting over there because it is important
Yeah.
and hey, it'll benefit the show, right?
Exactly, exactly. I mean, it's a win-win for everyone.
Awesome, awesome. And I would love to get maybe some of you guys back together remotely here on the podcast. I'm starting to throw out the idea to a few people. Maybe we want to do a little reunion, so that could be a fun way to go about it as well.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. I cannot wait to all these. I mean, we have so many plans and everything. We're just kind of we're slow taking it and just seeing where everything kind of falls in place, and I'm excited to see what comes.
Absolutely. Now, what's your fondest memory from the show that you're allowed to share where we are right now in the episodes? Can
So
you hear me?
are you
Sorry.
with me?
Yes.
Okay. My fondest memory being on the show was honestly just cooking for three legends, cooking right in front of Chef Ramsay and Chef Blaze and Chef Naisha Arrington. I mean, talk about just a boost in morale and confidence and here, and it's nice to actually watch the show and how they edit it and how it all unfolds and you see them battling for your dish and it's such a great feeling like because you don't see that. You can't hear them what they're talking about, and it's really nice seeing like how they're Blaze is sticking up for me and pushing for me to get best dish, and it's just yeah, I think that's probably one of the best parts of seeing how it all unfolds with the whole editing process and cooking for three legends.
Wow. So do you kind of like get tunnel vision when you're in there with them, or after a while, does it seem like you're just talking to just another normal person?
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. I mean, I don't know if I was still in shock when I was there from the fires and all, but like everything still felt like so surreal. I look up and I'm like, holy crap, I gotta pinch myself because I'm here right now, and I was just trying to stay focused and staying in the zone and just, my biggest thing was I was thinking, oh my gosh, everybody is practicing before the show and here I am. I don't have a house. I'm homeless now. Everyone's practicing but me. So I'm just like, that was on my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I mentally like ready to do this show? So yeah.
Well,
Mm.
clearly you were because you're still in it and kicking some ass. If that's okay, if I'm cursing. By the way, we totally allow cursing here, but usually I don't pull it out until you do, just in case if there are kids that you care about who are listening. So sorry about that.
Oh, for
Um,
sure.
awesome. Well, what else would you like to share about the show? Like, is there something that you're watching and you're thinking, if only they knew how this really went down? Is there any of those? I can see you laughing. Okay, you've probably got one for us, I hope.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's you literally have no idea what you're going to be cooking because it all depends on your grab. So like you have to grab with intention. You grab your star protein and then you have to build a dish off of that within a matter of seconds. So you really have to think on your feet. You have to be flexible. And I think that's what benefited me the most was having the experience behind my back and in my past years where different flavor profiles go together. And I've cooked with this and I've cooked with that. I really feel like that kind of gave me a little upper advantage on the show because I'm a very flexible chef. I change my menus based on seasonality. So I'm very flexible with my ingredients. I'm a farmer, so I work with a lot of different herbs and vegetables and fruits and things of that nature. But literally, I mean, everyone asks me, is it scripted? Is it scripted? No, it is unscripted. You literally have to grab and make a dish. You literally have like 30 seconds to think about what the hell you're going to make. And then your time starts. And then you have 25 minutes, let's say, and you better get the ground running because you cannot waste any time. That time goes fast. When I was actually going into season three, I was going off of season one and two. They had 45-minute cook time. We were surprised when we had 20-minute cook times for our audition rounds. We're like, are you kidding me? This is insane. 20 minutes. It takes me 20 minutes to think about what I want to make, you know? So I think that was the most interesting part, showing up on set. Okay, you have 20 minutes to make a next level dish. Your time starts now. Go.
Man, that is rough.
Yeah.
That is so rough. And Christina said the same thing. She had assumed it was going to be longer and then was completely blindsided. So if you're going on to season 4, watch out. You might only get 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look out. Get ready, right?
So, what was your favorite dish that you've made on the show thus far that is shown thus far on television?
What was my favorite one?
Your favorite dish that you have presented to the judges thus far?
Honestly, um, my favorite dish, well, probably the last 3 episodes, my starting with my lobster dish, I got runner up. That was a really knockout dish. The beef empanada, that one, that one top dish. So I mean, I have to stand by that one. And then the last episode, my steak dish, with the what was it, with the smoked potato mousseline. That was a really good one too. I really utilized what the top kitchen heads will offer. So I was kind of shocked that I didn't get to win that one, but hey, you can't win them all, right?
Yeah. Well, I'd love to find out on contrast, what are your favorite dishes that you're currently serving? Because I know you love the whole farm to table and you're very into vegetables. So to
Yeah.
contrast that, what are you cooking right now that you're very enthusiastic about?
So for example, so for tomorrow, I'm doing a play on a vegetarian bone marrow, but I'm gonna do a carrot marrow. So basically, I'm sous videing the carrots at 185 degrees for 1 hour. I'm cutting them long ways. I'm hollowing them out, and then I'm gonna make a vanilla bean and carrot puree. And I'll pipe it in. I'll smooth it. I made a little bit of sunflower seed granola with a little bit of honey creme fraiche with sunflower microgreens. So it's a very
Oh,
nice light bite. I mean, I'm into freshness, refined, and sexy.
I
So as
love it.
long as it hits those three, I'm doing my job.
I love it. Wow, such a contrast. And I only wish that you could overnight that to Boise because, oh my God, that sounds amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. So, do you have anything in the works outside of working the farm and helping out in Maui? What are you working on right now, or are you just kind of rolling with the punches?
So right now I'm working on the farm about 6 days a week. I'm running greenhouse operations. I'm helping Ted run greenhouse operations. I'm doing the events right now. Also, my girlfriend and myself, we do private caterings as well. We come to your house and we cook and we clean and then we're out of there. So honestly, I don't really have any hobbies anymore. I mean, my hobbies are cooking and farming, and unfortunately, those are my job. So yeah, I really got to figure out a hobby soon because otherwise I'm just working every day.
I get
But
it. I get
I,
it.
you know, I love what I do, and to be creative and the point where I get to experiment. I mean, that's what gets me going. Creating new dishes and experimenting. It's only making me a better chef. And then stepping out of the busy kitchens I started farming 6 years ago. Literally, that's made me a better chef. I have a different vision and a mentality on just everything, a different perspective on, I know it takes 66 days to grow a perfect baby mokum carrot from seed to harvest. And then, you tend that, you water it, you harvest it, and then all of a sudden you cook with it. It's so fulfilling to see the end result. It's literally a full circle. And it's so fulfilling to me as a chef and a farmer, um, just how I utilize the crops we grow.
That's so great. That's so great. So, what else? Is there anything that you would like to share? Any plugs that you would like to do for yourself or for the farm, or anything else you want to talk about? How we can help Maui and how we can continue to watch you on social media and on television.
Yeah, I mean, I would love for anyone that's watching this or listening to this, please give me a follow on Instagram or Facebook. I'm chef_Zachariah. That's my chef page. I do a lot of farm work as well. The farm I run is Huamamona Farms. We do Huamamona Foundation. That's our nonprofit. So that's all channeled through feeding Lahaina's displaced. And we're really focusing on the whole recovery phase as well, which is that's very important to us as well. But basically, if you ever come out to Maui, please reach out. We're looking at we could volunteers. You could help with donating money. I mean, all these are huge, huge help for not only the farm and the foundation, but also. Sorry, my beats are done.
That's
Um,
okay.
it just, please come to Maui. Our economy took a hit. We really need tourism to survive. We're super driven by tourism here on Maui. We're a small island, and a lot of small businesses are struggling. So please come to Maui. We are open. Don't think we're not open. We are open. And when you do come to Maui, please reach out to me. I would be more than happy to give you a farm tour. If you want to book a nice private dinner with me, I could create this memorable, magical 9-course meal for you if that tickles your fancy. I mean, there's multiple ways that you can help out, but yeah, and just give me a follow on social media. That means a lot to me. So, I'm doing what I can to keep up with it, but I'm only one person, so.
Well, we'll make sure to put all of your social media handles in the show notes so that everyone can easily find them and follow you and support and donate and visit and all of that stuff. Zach, thank you so, so much for being on the show. It's
Oh,
been such a pleasure getting to know you
yeah.
and chatting with you. I don't want to ruin your beats and keep you for too much longer. Thank you so
Boy,
much for being on the show. And when it's done and over, if you want to come back and talk more about your time on the show, I would really love that. That could be a lot of fun.
absolutely, Audrey. I mean, thank you for your time today and fitting me in your busy schedule. And yeah, thanks for helping me get our message out there. So really appreciate you.
Oh, of course. And thank you for making time. I know you're working 7 days a week and doing two jobs. So if anything, you're the one who made time for me. So thank
Yeah.
you. All
Well, thank you
right.
so much. I can't wait to
Bye.
listen. Bye.
Oh,
Aloha.
yeah, me too. And everyone listen to the next episode of Who's Reality Cooking. Make sure to check out in the show notes all of Zach's information, and we will see you next week with another episode.
Thank you so much. Aloha.
Aloha.